Okay, duct tape again. Duct tape for everything. I studied art at college. Okay, you know what? I went to school for art too. For one semester. I mean, I did pre-med and then I was like, no, I don't want to be a doctor now. And then I did computer video game development. And then I was like, oh, that's the worst paying, highest turnover job and you can pick. Okay, never mind that. And then, yeah, I kind of just went with art after that. And then dropped out of school later. I never finished with a degree. Duct tape is all you need. I know. I had a 365 days of duct tape calendar from my mom one year. Pretty funny. All the ways you can use duct tape. Okay, now should be able to slide the strings through, which I am going to do with a sewing needle. Where is my sewing needle? Wow, this is actually going really well. Like, I had a general concept, but I didn't think I'd build it without leaving my chair and build it while talking on stream this quickly. I'm really happy with this. I wanted to go to architecture, but it's like 7 years at university. Architecture is awesome. I thought of doing that one day in grade school when we had a career fair, and one of the people that visited the school was an architect, and I thought that was really cool sounding, but I never did want to be an architect after that day. It was kind of just like in the moment, like, oh, architects are awesome. I don't think they actually get to be artists enough. Like, most architects just kind of have to build stuff according to what the client wants. They can't really make their own masterpieces. They just have to kind of create cookie cutter stuff that passes building codes and stuff. So it's not as glamorous as I'm sure it kind of looks from the outside. You're about to see a tool you probably didn't think I'd have. Surgical scalpel. I use this for sewing a lot, and I'll be using it a lot for this whole robot project. Super useful tool. I could get 3 degrees in the law in that time. Wow, yeah. String Sharpie, here we come. Oh, I shouldn't have pulled so much through though. The Sharpie, like they all have to start at the same time, I think. Wait, do they? Let's see. No, I want them to start at different times actually. I want a string offset so it's not like an abrupt start because it's going to need to, like, since we're making concentric circles, I have to introduce one string at a time over time. So they create a smooth transition for the next row when I come back around on the bone. So who thinks this is the first string Sharpie ever made in the world. Seriously, you know how some things already been thought of, no matter what you think of? Like, that's the theory. I don't think there's ever been a string Sharpie before. What's your job? I actually have a lot of things going on. I'm an entrepreneur, and kind of juggling multiple companies I've started. This is kind of the one I was holding off for last, but I couldn't wait any longer. I just had to get it started. Like, I wanted to build businesses and then eventually get into robotics later in life, but I don't want to wait. Like, robotics are so popular right now. Every movie's about robotics. Like, I'm just having robotics flaunted in my face, and I already have, you know, these awesome designs and plans for robotics. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it now. And I still do want to juggle my other businesses, but one of my businesses is selling a product I sold. This is actually the product. You can Google it. It's for kayaking. The high and dry. It's a kayak rolling aid. It's one of the things. That's like one of my primary sources of income right now. So yeah, online sales of a product. I'm hoping to eventually someday actually sell robotics parts on the website I make to go with this like robot product brand. Like, once I have an audience, I plan to monetize by having like an online shop where I sell robotic kits and stuff, or recommended robotic parts that I use in my projects, or you know, that type of thing. Just like a person with a YouTube channel will sell shirts and hats of their brand, I can sell robotic stuff once I have a big following. And I think I will. I think with the amount of interest in robotics, like, I think I'll get pretty big if my robot is really awesome. But it has to be awesome for it to get big. So that's the goal, is to make a super awesome, world-class robot. Dragon's Den! Okay, that's the UK version of Shark Tank. I've actually seen that. I like Shark Tank better, but I've seen Dragon's Den. That's funny that you bring that up. I've actually seen that show. That doesn't actually air in the US. It's a UK only show. Ours is Shark Tank. I love those types of shows. Everybody says I should bring my product down there, but I think everybody that goes on those shows gets screwed. The deals are always terrible in favor of the investor. Like, oh, I'm gonna give away half my company for a $10,000 loan. It's like, what? Retarded. These people are just really desperate. Hey, thanks, man. I love Shark Tank. I've seen every episode out so far. How often are you streaming? Well, I just started streaming yesterday, and I'm an extreme guy. Like, I was working on a different business idea 3 days ago, and I just watching a bunch of robotics movies on YouTube recently, and I just seen a bunch of robotic movies online lately, and I was like, it just took away all my willpower to wait many years before I start this project up again. So I just decided, you know, I'm gonna create the stream, I'm gonna start going hardcore, and I just went all in. So I might stream every day, like 15 hours a day for the next 2 months. Like, I can do that because I'm self-employed, and I just keep my other businesses running, doing the bare minimum, and I focus on one business at a time. So, you know, this is one of my businesses. Eventually going to create a website, artbyrobot.com. I've got the domain purchased already, so don't go try to snipe my domain name. And yeah, I'm going to build a whole brand. I got my YouTube channel already. You can see I uploaded videos a year ago explaining what I'm going to be doing with this project and the plans and demonstrating how I do the sculpting. I've already got like 600 or 700 views on there, which is pretty good, I think, considering it hasn't been that long and I haven't continued making videos. It's just the popularity of robotics, I think, is going to really help me out in that aspect. But yeah, I'm probably just going to stream every time I work, even if it's boring. It will spread the awareness of this project quicker, and eventually I should be able to qualify to become a Twitch partner. Then I can have commercial breaks, so I can actually make some money. And I might get donations eventually too. You know, once people get stoked enough about what I'm doing and they want to help me out. So that will help. And yeah, I think everything's going to start building momentum eventually. String sharp is that? You better not have registered that. Oh my goodness, that's funny. You get stringsharpies.co.uk. I get stringsharpies.com. You cannot take everything. Last time I worked on this robot project, like a year ago, I watched Star Trek while I was making the robot, and that was like the nerdiest moment I ever felt. I was making a robot while watching Star Trek. It was really bad. I don't have a problem with it. You mean his garage? Okay, it's actually a garage that I put my bed in. Wait, a garage is defined as something attached to a house where you park your car. So until I get a car in here, it's still a bedroom. It has a bed in it, so it's a bedroom. It just looks like a garage. I guess I'm not a real roboticist if I make robots in my bedroom. But what if the robot ends up awesome? Like, you have to have a robot lab? Should I call it my robot lab? Okay. Ugly, but boom. Let's make a commercial for the Sharpie pen version 12. Now it comes with 8 spools of thread, comfortable ergonomic grip, many strings, and you just paint on the string. All of your robotic sculpting needs. You can see, like, this is going to definitely help with thread management. Just keeping everything organized, making sure these threads don't go flying off, you know, this little piece of cardboard, blah blah blah. No! Phone just totally bent. I've learned it's usually best to do small batches of this. So I'm kind of scared, like, pretty wasteful when it cures and you didn't actually use it all. And I'm really trying not to waste a lot. You can see you can see the edge of here where some epoxy actually spilled off yesterday right onto my shirt because I wasn't paying attention and I had it like on my stomach and it just started slowly dripping right onto me. It sucked. By the way, guys, putting epoxy on these, it's so much easier just using your fingers. If you use a paintbrush, you're gonna destroy it. If you use Q-tip, it's gonna like break down the Q-tip fibers and be really slow. This is like super fast and very accurate because you're using the feel of your fingers as well. The only downside is you have to waste gloves each time, but totally worth it. By the way, um, so the strings are just put on with crazy glue because of the speed with which it dries. Um, I'm reinforcing it with epoxy because epoxy is the stuff that's super strong. So that's what gives it, you know, all the strength I need. I'm scared of super glue. Yeah, you don't want to get that stuff stuck on your hands. That's why I wear gloves. Along this whole, oh my gosh. So sculpting the bones could take months. You know, think of the spine. Think of how many bones are in the spine. Think about how each bone, like this bone took me, and I'm just not even halfway done. Took me like 6 hours. Plus, the actual sculpt of it was even longer. I had to look up a lot of anatomy photos to get everything perfect. Um, this is a multi-month project, and for one guy to make a robot that's like, as epic as I have planned for this, that's a multi-year thing. So, we're talking about not only creating all the bones, creating artificial ligaments, artificial muscles, artificial lungs for the cooling system I have planned, rigging it up with motors, testing, and you got the programming. You got a ton of programming, artificial intelligence, software. I'm going to be coding a lot just to get it to even stand up. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of lines of code. So really, this is a computer programmer's wet dream to to be able to have a humanoid advanced robot to be able to then code and teach it to do things like that's when the fun starts. And I don't even know if I can really stream the coding, so I probably won't stream that. What I'll stream then would be like testing, like when I'm testing the code. That would be really entertaining for people to see the robot like falling down and stuff. Yeah, it's a very long time. This is a big, 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 big project. And most things that are worth doing in life do take a very long time. Yeah, messing with super glue is really tough. You gotta be careful what you're doing. Don't want to rush it, that's for sure. Okay, I need more epoxy. I have to be really slow and deliberate in my movements because this is messy, nasty stuff. If it touches anything, it's just so filthy. I gotta be so careful not to screw up. It's like doing surgery. Most of this stuff is just super. It takes a lot of patience and just deliberate motions. Visualizing the path of your hands before you move because you don't want to just willy-nilly fling things around. You'll make a mess. You'll get glue all over your shirt, all over your room, all over your tools. Notice how I'm holding this, like, I'm not touching it with these fingers. I remember those had glue on it. That's why I'm holding them out like that, to remember not to touch anything. If you start touching all your stuff, it's going to be covered in sticky glue and it's going to get on everything. If you're wondering why doesn't he just put the crazy glue right over the clay, or put the epoxy right over the clay, cut out the clay and be done with it, why all this string business? Well, if you research composite materials, you'll know that the tensile strength of the string gives the structure tremendous strength over what just plain epoxy would do. The string is critical to the overall strength of the final bone. And the tensile strength of this string is amazing. It's upholstery thread, and you cannot snap it in half with your hands. Like, well, you can, but I mean, it really hurts. And it takes maybe 100 pounds of force, I think, to actually snap the thread in half. So it's super strong stuff, and it makes these bones incredibly strong. The combination of the epoxy with the thread makes the bones so strong, and they're so light. Like, if I wanted to make a robotic bird, this is how I would do it. Like, well, this is how I'm doing it with a humanoid robot. But like for a bird, lightweight is extra important. And this is super strong and lightweight. Like, it'd be great for making quadcopters or anything like that. Yeah, that's starting this bone because you guys have no idea how long it takes to make a bone out of these threads. Even with the Sharpie pen, or the string pen. String Sharpie. I'm sure it's still going to take a really long time. But when I'm like really wanting just to give up and take some shortcut, I remember like these bones are so strong and they look so cool, you know, and they're shiny and they're lightweight, and it's going to be so worth it when I'm actually getting the robot to do stuff and I don't have to worry about it being big and heavy and made of metal. And the servo motor's overheating because it's so hard to move the robot around because it's so heavy. It's going to be like so lightweight, like a feather. Anyways, I am cutting out the clay of one of the finished finger bones. This is a wrist bone I'm doing. After I coat it with string, I cut it in half, and then I dig out all the clay to make it lighter in weight. You can see here, I'm just putting the clay on my stomach. My stomach is my workbench. You're wondering why I don't work on a table? Well, if you look at my posture, I think getting comfortable is really important to be able to do something this tedious for a long period of time. You really need to be comfortable. So I'm like in the most comfortable chair. I'm sitting on a pillow. I got a pillow behind my head. I'm very relaxed because that enables me to be more patient. When your back is hurting, you're hunched over a work table, you're just going to make mistakes because you're going to rush and feel uncomfortable and just want to quit soon. I'm able to work on this stuff for like 20 hours at a time without a break. Well, except like to eat, but I mean no substantial breaks because I'm so comfortable. So it's really important. Also, I have my elbows by my sides, and the weight of my arms is braced on my stomach right now, and so that's really ergonomic. Like it allows me to rest all the muscles of my arms against my body and not be straining at all. And that's important as well to be able to work for long periods of time without any discomfort. That's kind of the name of the game, since this entire project is like a huge stamina test of my ability to sit in one place doing something very tedious for many, many hours in order to get the desired results. So this reminds me of cutting ice cream out of like a 1 gallon thing of ice cream. You gotta cut, loosen it, and then you pluck it out.